Austin DeCenzo, Cole Sweetser, Jay Hams, and Lyndon Miller. Now this is going to be a tough one here because, Sean, we're talking about the A, B, C, D kind of going along the lines of a height restriction.
Yes.
Well, C and D is usually where you're going to see some better athletes on the men's physique side because height actually does help you in this class.
Yep, that's right.
So you're going to see some of your winners
Aaron
here.
Banks, Mr. Olympia for men's physique, I believe is over 6 foot, right?
Yeah.
I think he's 6'2".
Big guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. He can dunk on you. Yeah. But you're seeing some really good physiques here.
I was interested about this guy. I thought I saw him in Classic, but I think you're right. I just look. I don't see his name on Classic. But he's the biggest guy up there.
Yeah, Cole Sweetser looks great. He's right, and they just moved him to the middle. Yep. Sure enough.
Look at him from the back. This dude,
good taper. Good taper and long.
Yep.
Yeah, it has that kind of longer physique. And kind of something that you're looking for in men's physique, too.
Yep.
Great job, gentlemen. Thank you.
You know, we never really want to talk about length so much when it comes to, you know, these physique sports, but length really does help in a class like bikini, like a class like men's physique. You kind of want to have a little bit of a longer physique.
Yeah.
It helps out. Here comes our Class D athlete.
This is our final class for the men.
Matthew McGinley. Oh man, men already. How about that? Moving right along.
And I believe right after this class, they're going to do a quick, like, 10-15 minute break and then roll into finals for the men.
I believe so.
At that point, I will be leaving so the women come back.
No!
I got to go get my girls ready for the afternoon.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. So I believe Jason will be joining you here for the finals.
Right.
You'll have to keep me in the loop as to who wins the pro and the ticket to the Olympia there.
Jason Albrecht, the great Jason Albrecht of TSG Events in the Shop Gym.
Yes.
The one who believed in us to let us annoy people on air a couple years
right?
back,
yeah,
and we haven't left since.
I know. Now they're stuck with us.
Yeah, they're stuck with us.
Yep.
Yeah,
so I do this for my own channel on YouTube, and also when I go to attend shows, I do it on my Spotify channel too, live from the audience. So I guess I do okay at this point.
I think you're all right. Yeah, I think you're all right.
But it's interesting. It's an interesting thing because I found that, like we talked about earlier, the majority of competitors really appreciate it because they come back and they say, hey, thank you for the automatic critiques. Like I've had so many girls message me or something after listening to my live commentary at the shows and be like, oh my god, thank you, because I didn't get a chance to talk to judges yet or whatever. Now I know it's changed for next week and blah, 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 blah. So we really, when we do this kind of thing, we really do say this trying to help.
Yeah.
You know, trying to help you guys make improvements.
Yeah.
And just show you what we see. You know, because a lot of times, like we said before, a lot of times you're just a little bit too close to it to be able to see it for yourself.
Yeah. It's tough to remove yourself and try and be objective, especially when you've worked so hard in an entire prep, you know.
Yep. And even coaches. I mean, coaches will be biased towards you.
I mean, it's hard not to be emotionally invested sometimes, you know.
Coaches want to see you win, you know. So it's hard to look at it with an objective eye sometimes.
And we're looking at our Open D class, our men's physique athletes. Seeing some good athletes. Again, these are some of our taller guys. So you're going to see kind of like, again, everyone's going to be a little bit longer. You're not going to see the fullness in the legs as much as you are the other guy, the shorter athletes. But you should see kind of that taper that you're looking for, especially in the midsection. So I mean, I'm looking directly at 53. TJ Walter seems to have kind of that athletic men's physique look that you're looking for.
Yep. He's got a great structure for this division.
Yeah.
If he wants to move up, he'd probably do pretty well at the national level.
Yeah.
But then at the pro level, he's going to have to put some size on.
Oh, yeah.
But, you know, he's got the structure to do that. You know?
And again, we talked about it earlier with the pro athletes. Is like the guys who are essentially going to probably place last or DNPs, right? A lot of those guys could just come right in here and just destroy everyone. And take the entire show.
Yep.
But that's where it comes down to, is like, if you could look great here, well, guess what? How hard it is to place in the pro league.
That's right.
I mean, man, it's almost impossible.
All right, well, we are going to take a quick break.
Yep.
And then we'll be back for the men's finals in just about 10-15 minutes.
Appreciate it, guys. We'll be back soon.
15-minute intermission while we tabulate the scores from today's pre-judging sessions. And we are going to ask, if you would like, go out on the lobby and some of our sponsors or vendor booths out there. Please feel free to stop by one of their booths to see their offering. And the show will begin resume back in 15 minutes. Also remind everyone that if you have anyone who was not able to attend today's event, we are being live streamed on GaryUdit.com. Again, GaryUdit, that's UDIT.com. So if your friends or loved ones or gym mates are at home and they're saying, boy, I wish I could see my friend in his finals, you can he or she can still do so by going to GaryUdit.com and click on the live streaming event tab. We are also going to ask that everyone please remind ourselves that there should be no photography in the auditorium. No photography in the auditorium. The NPC approved photographer for today's event is Jeff Finns. This is a really good time to go see Jeff. If you'd like to purchase pictures from today's event, he is the gentleman that's sitting behind the judges. And if you do not have time to go see him today, contact him at EliteStagePhotography.com. That's EliteStagePhotography.com.
T-shirt, moonwalking on your good footwork. I need a benzo, benzo. I need a ride in a Lambo. I need a ride in a Lambo. I need a ride in Enzo. I need a benzo, benzo. I need a ride in a Lambo. I need a ride in a Lambo. I need a ride in Enzo. Benzo, benzo.
You in the summer, sipping wine, we talk for hours through the night. And you asked me if I'd like to know your number, for me to call and say that I got home alright.
If I tell you say I love you, I just wanna be right next to you. I just wanna see the best of you.
Judges, please report to the judges table. Okay, welcome back, everyone. On behalf of Skylar and there, Jason Elric, and Gary Yuta, we'd like to welcome you back to the 2023 IFBB Pro League DC Championships and DC Championships for the NPC. Earlier, we had our pre-judging session of our today's events. This evening, we're going to have our finals. But at this time, we're going to ask that everyone please rise for the playing of our national anthem. Thank you, everyone, for coming back. Of course, you come back. As you saw these athletes earlier, they look awesome. It isn't often that you have a pro-am event like today, so we're very happy that you're here to celebrate these athletes. What we're going to do first is we're going to have our confirmation scoring of our IFBB Pro League Men's Physique class. I'm going to ask the gentleman to come on stage. Confirmation scoring.
And we're live here, folks, at the 2023 DC Pro-Am. I'm joined here by my dear friend, colleague, homie, and everything else in between, Jason Albrecht. Jason, thank you so much for hopping back behind the mic here with us here on the stream.
Absolutely. It's good to sit here. Best seats in the house, actually.
Really is the best seats in the house. We have our own live monitor here. We're off to the side a bit, about a 45-degree angle from the stage. Getting ready to watch our IFBB Pro Men's Physique athletes. This is our finals portion. We're entering to see this is where the rubber meets the road here, Jason. We're here to see kind of how things shape. It looks like they're starting from back to front. This looks like this was our second/third call-outs from our opening this morning at 9 a.m. So we'll see how things tie up.
Looks like a total of 16 competitors here for the IFBB Pro League.
Yeah.
Men's Physique. And I mean, even with this, third call-out, second and third call-outs that you were talking about, the backs on these guys, I mean, conditioning.
Crazy.
This is, 16th through 12th, if you will. And it's still impressive.
Yeah, it's crazy.
The talent that we've seen here with these 16 competitors, it's been phenomenal.
I mean, earlier, Sean and I were just talking about how the guys who are probably going to get the DNPs and the last places here, they're actually, like, even if you just throw them in the NPC lineup, all of them just, they win outright.
Stacked.
Right, yeah, they win outright. So it's just like, that's the thing with, we always talk about there's levels to this game.
Yeah.
Well, there's levels to the IFBB Pro League. So should you ever be fortunate enough to gain a pro card, the water is deep, my friends.
It's very deep, and even then, I mean, whoever takes away a victory from this competition today, they're going to be qualified for the Olympia.
And good luck there.
Exactly. You're working your way back up to the absolute best. I love this camera angle here that TSG Events has done on the live stream.
My goodness, we were singing the praise earlier, but we were talking about the angle that you'll get here in a moment that we keep setting up for our primary shot has been seriously amazing. We were saying how this is literally simulating exactly what the judges are looking for. It's that 45-degree angle.
Yep.
And we were saying that was just like, well, I mean, I was saying it's the best shot we've had working with TSG Events that I've even seen, just because whenever you were talking about, like, okay, what do the judges see? What do the judges see? It was like, well, now we have a camera angle that actually shows. Bingo, right there. Thank you so much, team. And you see Vitor and Steven battling it out here.
First and second right there.
1 and 2 right there. And you
Shout
see,
out to Ariel from Cuts with Steven. Done an amazing package along with
Steven looks great.
Yeah, John Saramonte as well.
Yeah, Steven looks great. And Vitor, not to be outdone, obviously, that 3D muscle we were talking about earlier.
So full, so
Crazy.
round.
Yeah.
Great detail.
Yeah. It's just, it pops. It pops, incredibly stacked. And again, it has that very interesting kind of technique of almost being straight on as opposed to kind of posing at an angle like we always talk about on Men's Physique. Whereas like Vitor he's coming right, he's very Ryan Terry-esque in that, like, we're sitting right, head on, right? So, but it's, I mean, if I had a chest like that, I would probably do the exact same thing too, right? Like, you could do anything at any angle. So, great look there. If I had to guess, guys, I mean, we can kind of see who the 1 and 2 is going to be. Outside of that, we're not entirely certain where things are going to shake up, but we'll see here shortly as we wrap up our pro men's finals.
Amazing competition.
Oh no, it's been great.
And also having Tyler Mannion as the head judge
We were talking about that. Yeah, I mean,
deal.
you want to talk about like we said it. Who could you get better at a local show too? Like if you're an NPC athlete to get your feedback
Literally.
from. And the thing is, not even head judge at this one, Bill Sibilli as well. I mean, like guys, if you're at a local show in the DMV area, you get to do one of these shows by Gary Udit, you truly do get judged by the best. I mean, these are Olympia level judges, so it's like you have to. They always say like, hey, get your feedback. I'm a fan of going straight to them.
Absolutely.
Forget an email. Go right to them. Have your phone out. Make sure you write this stuff down.
Take notes.
This is your North Star. Remember
we
this.
nailed it with a local competition. Having this lineup of judges is just.
You don't get this, man.
No, it's beautiful.
You don't get this. Imagine anywhere else in the country, man. You just don't get it. So here comes Raymond Akinlasotu I really hope I did your last name justice there, man. I know I always try to reach out to get the pronunciations phonetically ahead of time. So Raymond was kind enough to get back to me on that one. I appreciate it. Raymond, good package here. The only comments I think Sean and I had was just the suit. The suit's just a little bit off on the color. It's one of those things where you want, if you're going to wear green, have it pop a little bit more. Those shorts looked a little bit more a little too beach shorts than you'd want to see on a competition. Stephen Cow, on the other hand, Stephen Cow, well-traveled athlete. You've been seeing him in the IFBB Pro League for a little while now. You expect him to kind of come into this roster and kind of stand out. And,
there.
And he did.
Amazing conditioning, tight midsection.
Yeah.
Those obliques, the serratus are popping. Nice full chest, great V taper.
I mean, the taper is the first thing you notice. Yeah. Yeah.
And right here, three-dimensional to the back.
Yeah, really
Not
pretty.
only is it wide, but it's coming at you. I mean, look at his rear nuts. Look at
the erectors. I mean, yeah, it's just, and the thing is like, I remember coming up at a time when men's physique, you didn't see erectors like that. You saw some depth and you saw like some width, but you didn't see guys doing RDLs with like 400 plus pounds, 500 pounds. Yeah, and I'm like, come on, man. Like now you're seeing it. You know, it's just a really, really pretty look.
And talk about a pretty look. I mean, it doesn't get much better.
Vitor,
in my opinion,
yeah,
right
come on, man. I mean,
and he's a great guy, very humble. I was talking to him backstage. He's been training at the shop gym.
How about that?
Since he's been in town, so I gave him a shout out saying thank you because he was showing us some love. And, and you know, he's happy to be here. Really, really nice.
Oh, that's
guy.
right. Yeah, we did see Vitor. Shout out. He had the Air Ones on him.
Yeah.
I'm a man of culture myself. You know what I mean? I appreciate it. I see the heat. And also as a South American guy as well, respect from Brazil. Love that, Vitor. And speaking of South American, more specifically Venezuelan roots here comes one of my own, Victor Manuel Ramirez Chavez. So straight out of Venezuela, where my father's from. Very cool stuff.
Nice tight midsection.
He came out great. Now the thing is just like, and again, Victor is kind of running into I mean, it was just the lineup where it's like in any other lineup he sticks out. It's just like when we saw him standing up with everybody else, him alone is just incredible. It was kind of, they had him off to the side for a little bit. It never really seemed like he could make his way on the inside, so it looks like he's going to be on the outside looking in, maybe top 4, top 5, unfortunately. But it goes to show you how hard it is to break in here. He had 2 previous DC Pro champions ahead of him here. I mean, what are you going to do with Charjo Grant and Vitor as well? So it's going to be tough.
And coincidentally, they're both top 5 again with Charjo and Vitor.
Right, yes.
Stan breaking that top 5 as well. I believe the first year, I think he got 3rd place.
Yeah.
And then this year, he's back in that top 4.
Yeah, this is not an easy lineup to break into, fellas. I mean, we're talking about, look at that shot. I mean, yeah, it's...
I wonder if we're going to start seeing that shot in other live streams.
Yeah, we'll see. It'd be nice, too. And the thing is, I hope that becomes the standard, because we always talk about, like, oh, it's different when you go to the show. It's different when you're in the show. Like, you can't judge off of video. You can't judge off of you know, this or that. Well, you can judge off of a 45-degree angle as tight as possible on an HD camera. You know what I mean? Like, it's tough to replicate.
And one thing, too, I mean, you're a great posing coach as well, so you understand this, but, you know, a lot of the times competitors will pose head-on to the mirror.
Oh, goodness,
and, you know, you got to remember, the competitors on a 3-foot stage and the judges we're sitting at a 3-foot table, right? So we're looking up at them.
Yeah.
That camera angle that TSG Events is showing is an angle up, like you mentioned before, seeing the judges.
Yeah.
So these competitors are leaning just a little bit forward. They're not posing straight on. Here we got Charjo, amazing conditioning.
Yeah.
One thing he brings, no matter what, you know, Olympian, top 4, I believe, like great conditioning.
Yeah.
But this angle right here, you know, they're leaning towards the judges a little bit. This is not a head-on angle.
Yeah.
So for anybody out there that's listening and watching, you know, when you pose in front of the mirror, but pose to the judges, you know, angle down.
So our colleague earlier, Sean Hector Lewis, actually mentioned she actually has her athletes record
Yep.
with their phone on the ground at a 45-degree angle. I love that idea.
Yep.
Love that idea. It's one of those things where it's just like you want to practice how you play. Now here comes John Sarmiento. John Sarmiento, one of our own, a shop gym athlete. So a local guy who looks like he's shaping up to be in potentially the top 5 here. So very exciting stuff here for John. John, now for him, it's always been the question of who is he from front to back. From the front, hard, dense, grainy, kind of a lot of the stuff that you talk about when you're talking about an open bodybuilder almost, right?
Yep.
I mean, he has that really thick, thick chest. I mean, you can put a coffee mug on there, right?
It's full, very full, yep.
Yeah, but the question is just like, does he have that same detail and density from the back? And sometimes it seems to be kind of that difference.
It's the dimension to his back.
Yeah, it's. I mean, the thing is, you want to talk about like disparities when it comes to what you look like from the front versus the back. Is if you have such a lights out shot from the front, if you have something that kind of pales in comparison when you turn around, it's gonna work against you. So here we go, 13. Here comes Micah Thomas Jr.
And there's so much that goes into these physiques. I mean, years and years and years of training, of detail, of I mean,
food,
it's just,
time,
yep,
sacrifice. I mean, there's so much more to it than just a jacked guy or girl on stage right in front of you. It really changes kind of like how you look at it. But Micah Thomas Jr. here, a really great taper on him. I mean, the thing is we keep saying it, but I'm reminded of even just looking at Charjo Grant earlier is, while as good as he does look right now, he's kind of going to be a victim of his own success here because he's not exactly as tight as he was in years past and what we've seen him come with before. So he actually might not place where we think he might, just because he was a former champ doesn't guarantee him anything here. Is because he's a former champ, the standard is set so much higher for him. So it's like a head judge like Tyler will look at what he looked like before, and if you don't even come anything close to that, then you're going to be dinged on it. And I think that's fair to say that Charjo might actually, like we said, be a little bit of a victim of his previous success here. But we'll see. We'll see what happens as these finals kind of move on. Roy Williams on stage right now.
I can't get over that angle, man.
I love it. No, that's tremendous work by TSG Events. I mean, as we always sing their praises all the time. But I mean, always finding a way to continue to get better, man. Always finding a way to continue to up the standard of these live streams, of these broadcasts. TSG Events truly does the gold standard in terms of pro league shows and even local shows. It's incredible. I really don't know anybody else who's doing anything close to this on the national scene, period.
You're gonna make me blush.
Oh man, please. So here we go, folks. This is it. We're gonna go for, we got our presenters. We're going to, and here comes our native Venezolano, Victor Manuel Ramirez Chavez. 5th place. And you know what? No shame on this one. I fully expect Victor to show up with something else, though, soon, because he really did look great.
Yep, all around. And this is just a tough lineup.
Yeah. Man. Shout out to John Sarmiento, our very own top 4.
Top 4.
You know, he's done this before as well, if I'm not mistaken. I believe in 2021, I think he took 3rd or 4th.
Yep.
So, yeah. So great job there.
And then
Juan Manuel Gochez. So 2nd place. All right.
Okay, Vitor.
Yeah,
let's
go, Vitor.
2 years back
to back. Yeah. And look at that. We talk about it, guys, but I mean, if anyone's gonna beat Stephen Cow,
it's gonna be Vitor.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
2 years back to back, man. Unbelievable.
Now we want to talk about like owning a show. Vitor owns the DC Pro.
We've been doing it for 3 years, and he's got 2 titles.
He's got 2. Yeah. He's got 2. Vitor, tremendous job here for Vitor. Vitor Chavez, Brazilian. Tremendous stuff. 3D muscle all around. really showed up. I mean, it was kind of a separator. Sean and I were talking earlier. As soon as he stepped out, we kind of knew, but we just didn't want to, didn't want to just say anything too soon. I mean, Steven came out great. Obviously, we saw Victor come out great. We saw Juan Manuel come out great. But you're just never sure until like they stand next to each other. And it was when they stood next to each other, we were like, okay, who's taking second here?
Yep.
And sure
front
enough,
to back. I mean, once they hit that back pose, and that's,
it was game over.
Yeah. And as a judge, I mean, that's something that I start to judge the competitors when they hit the back.
Yeah.
Because obviously from the front pose, everyone
looks good.
tight. Everyone
looks good.
Midsection, great obliques, lines, chest, what have you. But it's when you turn to the back, that's when I really break it down. Shows are one from the back. Right?
Yeah.
Same thing with bikini.
Right.
Don't judge a bikini competitor by their front pose.
Yeah.
Start with their back pose.
Yeah.
And from there, start picking it apart.
Yeah.
And then when they turn to the front, now I've kind of got my placement. Now I can really start dissecting it. And that's a prime example here. I mean, from the front, top 5, every single competitor, all 16 of them look great. When you hit that back, the detail, the depth, the dimension, width, everything really comes into play.
Yeah.
And he just he blew it out of the water. There's no way to say it. He blew it out of the water.
And it's worth calling out. I mean, as if we didn't have enough things behind your name. You're also an NPC judge as well, Jason.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. So I mean, when you talk about it, you also, I mean, like you're not just a posing coach or anything like that. You're a gym owner. You take care of TSG events, the shop gym. I mean, but also like you've done the thing. You sat in the chair. You know what it's like when it comes to game day, and you actually have to call these physiques, and you have to rate them, and you have your process as soon as they step out on stage too. So it's always interesting to kind of get in the mind of a judge too and understand like what are you thinking as soon as they walk out there. So when it's just like and for me it was always work backwards. Was see okay who am I, who is not going to be placing in my top 5, where can I go from there, and then it really kind of comes down to I spend most of my time deliberating that top 3, top 4.
It's so tough too. It's so tough. I love
especially
it,
when a top 2 is like
neck and neck.
1A and 1B, man. Can I just like give them both?
What we just saw,
Yeah.
amazing turnout.
Steven,
like that.
yeah. And again, no shame for Steven on taking second there. Congratulations to Vitor, obviously, but no shame to Steven Cow. I mean, tremendous athlete. We know he'll be back here soon, and hey, this is points for the Olympia, right? So, still a good showing.
So now we're going through routines.
True novice heavyweight.
Yep.
And the show's already judged now, Jason. I mean, you know this as an NPC judge. What are you looking at, and what are you doing now during routines as a judge?
Usually I'm really taking notes and dissecting the competitors again to provide solid feedback.
You have the sheet with their numbers.
Yep.
You start writing things down. And you're like, okay, hey, 26. Just want to give you a heads up. Here's what held you back a little bit. Here's where you can improve moving forward.
Yep.
Here's some advice. Blah blah blah. And for me, unfortunately, a lot of these are just one words because I have to go so fast.
Yes.
So it's like everything is one word. It's condition. It's the word is always condition. I mean, if it's the amateur show, it's always condition. I feel like I always made the joke that I just needed a stamp.
Yep.
It's condition. Conditioning
and posing are two things that I see a lot on the amateur level. That separates, first through fifth, if you will.
Yeah.
And Justin's actually one of the shop gym guys as well, number 26. I remember him yesterday at check-ins.
Yeah.
He wanted to do classic, and unfortunately was, I believe he said 6 pounds. So our suggestion was roll right into bodybuilding.
Hey, man. There's no, hey, buddy.
He was like, I don't know the poses. I'm like, you'll be fine. So,
follow me to the pose room, Justin. Yeah, come here. Yeah,
we're good.
I got you, buddy. There's always somebody at the shop gym willing to help, man. I'll tell you that much.
Great conditioning through the legs, nice tight midsection.
Yeah, here comes Austin Bunda, yeah. And Austin we saw earlier, and the wheels are there. Actually, it looked a little different earlier. I want to say a little bit more water since the morning. But what I did like was something, again, our colleague Sean Hector Lewis, IBB Pro, our colleague Sean Hector Lewis and I are huge fans of, is you wear something a little bit more neutral, what we call a little more safe, on your posing trunks for the first half of the show, for the morning show, for prejudging. And then, hey man, try something a little bit more fun and out there for your pose, for the posing routine. I always think of the X-Man, Tony Freeman, how, you know, you come out, he'd have a little more neutral colors, you know, your navy blues, your blacks, you know, something like that. But then at the night show, velvet, dark red, satin, some sequins even, you know what I mean? Like, see something weird, man. And like, that was, that to me is when it's appropriate. But we always caution, don't use those trunks as your prejudging trunks.
And
try to stay away from that.
'cause
Yeah.
I've had a conversation with Bill Sevilla, who's the judge here with Tyler, and he said the exact same thing. He goes, you know, I'm a little bit more old school. I like the darker, more neutral trunks for prejudging. Don't distract me with some crazy colors. Let me judge.
Don't
your
come
body.
at me with pink
Bingo.
in the morning, man.
In the
It's
morning.
9 a.m.
Bingo.
Yeah, please. Yeah, come on, dog. Like.
And then evening